If you have slide outs on your RV, you need to check this before it's too late. This small piece of rubber can cost you thousands of dollars in damages if it fails. I'm going to show you on this episode how to inspect and replace these seals. Hey roamers, it's Jamie back at you. What we got going today is we're going to be placing the outer seal on our slides here. When we purchased this RV, they replaced all these seals here because when we did the walk around, I noticed that some of them weren't looking too great. So they replaced those. The ones that they didn't replace are the ones that mount on the actual flange of the slide here. And these ones are looking pretty bad. As you can see, some of them are actually where it's melted, where the seal is actually melted and become stuck to the RV. So what I'm gonna do on this episode is I'm basically gonna remove all that, clean it all up, and put a new seal on there. When I go to put my seal on there, I'll show you exactly what seal I'm gonna be using. So the first step in replacing these is we have to remove this old seal off of here. What I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use my plastic scraper. It's basically like a plastic razor blade. That way it won't do any damage to anything. It won't scrape up any paint or any of that kind of stuff. So all I want to do is I just want to, like this is already pulling loose. But what I want to do is I just want to go up like this.
My head's in.
And just want to remove that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that same thing all the way around. I'm going to remove all that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and take Goo Gone to get rid of the adhesive part of it and get that all off of there. So I'm just going to continue on removing this all the way up and around, and then, like I said, hit it with my Goo Gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out to give me some slack to be able to crawl underneath this. There is a way to disconnect this and take your slide topper and unhook it from the roller here. One, I don't really want to do that because it's windy out here. And two, my slide toppers are really close to being needed to be replaced. So I don't want to unhook it and create any issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out, give myself some slack so I can get underneath it, and then I'm going to clamp it off. Okay, so what it does, it's clamped onto the cylinder here, and then it stops itself right here on this edge right here. So that's going to keep it locked off while I crawl under there and get the rest of this old seal off of there. You can see here, I got the same seal here. There's hardly anything there. Most of it's gone. So I'm just gonna get that taken out, the rest of that taken off. All right. So I'm all the way down to the other end. Most of it was already off. It had fallen off by itself. So I'm just gonna go back to the other end and I'm gonna get my I don't really need any Goo Gone because all the adhesive and everything came off with the scraper. So I'm going to hit it with the glass cleaner, get it all nice and clean, and then, well, I got to do the rest of the sides and then we can start putting our seal on here. Now what I'm going to do, now that I get all the seals removed, the top, since I was already up there, I cleaned it. It didn't need the goo gone. I cleaned that with a glass cleaner. The sides and the bottom, I do need to use the goo gone. So I'm going to spray that on here just to remove the excess adhesive, and then we'll hit it with the glass cleaner. And we just want to do this to get rid of any excess adhesive. I like pizza. Linda's laughing because I'm wearing these goggles. And it looks like I look like the bad copy on Multiplicity with Michael Keaton, the one who puts a piece of pizza in his wallet. The reason I'm wearing these goggles is because the goo gone was particles of it was getting back on my glasses, and I don't know if it'll affect my glasses, so I don't want to ruin my glasses, so that's why I'm wearing the goggles. Okay, now that I've cleaned everything with the Goo Gone, I want to follow up with this glass cleaner because the Goo Gone it's kind of greasy, so it leaves a greasy film on there. So I want to go ahead and hit it with this, and that's going to get rid of all that. Okay, so we got it all cleaned up. We got all the adhesive off, cleaned it up with glass cleaner. So now I have a nice clean surface to be able to stick our new seal down. If you notice, when you looked at the old seal, it was a lot smaller than this. This is D seal, D like David. And I wanted to go a little bit bigger. This stuff is really soft. It squishes down, so it's going to be the same thickness when it closes as the other stuff was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the bottom here on this side of where my slide ram is and work myself up and around, and then come back down the other side and then work across the rest of the bottom. And how it works, it's got that 3M adhesive on the back side, so you just peel that off, stick it down, and then just keep working your way around. And what I'm doing is I'm taking it I don't know, maybe an 1/8 inch or so off the edge, because when it closes up, it's going to squish, and that it's going to push it down a little bit, so that way it'll be squished down and still be underneath this edge here. So when you go to do your corner, you want to get it to where you want your curve to be, and then just press down like that and turn. So it sticks down really easy. It's, you know, applying it's a really easy process as long as you've gone through all the steps of preparing the surface before you try to stick it on there. Because if you have a bunch of debris and stuff like that, it's not going to stick. You just want to make sure that when you take your clamp off and you let your slide topper roll back up to get under tension, that you don't have any creases in your topper here. So that's why I was going so slow. I wanted to make sure there wasn't any creases or anything like that. So I made my corner, came down to here. This is where the end of my D-seal is. All I'm going to do is I'm going to get the adhesive off. I'm going to butt it up right next to it and then continue on. All right, so this slide is all completed. Got the new seal on there. Just got to go and do the same process on the other side of the RV on that slide. The first slide is completed. Let's go ahead and get this one finished up as well. So I'm going to start back over here because I want my piece to be able to curve and there be enough adhesive to hold because of the curve there. I think it's a good idea to inspect your slide seals at least every 6 months. I feel a whole lot better knowing that my RV seals have been changed out, and then when I close my slides, it's going to be watertight. That's going to do it for this project. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends and family on social media. And if you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. And make sure to leave a comment, that way you could be part of the conversation. Until next time, we'll see you.
That's a wrap, roamers. If these adventures and tips are keeping you inspired, subscribe and watch another one. Your next RV tip or destination is just a click away.